I'm Becky. I'm here at Fort Wayne Clay, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to use our North Star slab roller. The slab roller is a great way to quickly make slabs as opposed to rolling them out by hand. So today we are going to be working with our B-mix with grog. This is a white clay. If you have a white clay, underneath the slab roller, we've got a box. This is white clay only canvas. So you're going to use the white clay canvas. If you're using a red clay or a brown clay, you are going to pull out this box with brown clay canvas. Whenever you use the slab roller, you must use a piece of canvas. If you put a piece of clay through the slab roller without a piece of canvas, it will be an awful mess. So we can save everybody some time and use a canvas. You want to make sure that your canvas is relatively clean. You don't want any big chunks of clay stuck to it, or else that will imprint onto your clay. You also want to start with a clay that's not too thick. We don't want to have big globs of clay, big chunks of clay, because it will wear this machine down and we want to take care of it. You also don't want to just run your clay through one time. You want to run it through multiple times and slowly get down to the thickness that you want. With this machine, you can go up to 3 inches and all the way down to 0. The kind of normal slab that works really well for hand building is about a 1/4 inch. So we're going to start at about 1/2 inch with our clay and then slowly work it down. And the benefit to also slowly making that slab thinner and thinner is compression. We want to compress the clay in multiple directions, just like if you were rolling it out by hand, to minimize cracking and warping during the firing process. So on this slab roller, you're going to see that there are measurements here on the side. It goes all the way down to 0. There's a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. You can see there's 1 inch, and there's this little tab right here. So on each side, we're going to roll this up so that that tab is at 1/2 inch. Okay, once this is rolled up to 1/2 inch, we're going to take our clay and put it in between the 2 pieces of canvas. So it's good to keep maybe 2 or 3 inches between the edge of the clay and the fold. You also got to be careful and think about how far the clay is squishing out at the end. So when you put it through the slab roller, it's going to go directly back. It's not going to squish to the sides, it's going to squish to the back. This is something you want to keep in mind when you think about how big of a slab you need. We're going to turn it around so we can make it wider. So if we were only going to put this through the slab roller one time, it would only be as wide as this piece of clay right here. It would just be longer. We're going to put this piece of clay through several times and rotate it while we do it. And that will help with the width and the length of the clay. Okay. So I've got it in there. I got a bit of the canvas at the end. You have to be very careful not to get your fingers in this. Right now it's at 1/2 inch. I can fit my fingers in there pretty easily and not squish them. However, when it gets any less than about 1/2 inch, you can damage your fingers. Okay, so we're going to put the canvas in there. And then slowly start to turn the wheel. And now I'm going to grab the canvas. You can't see it, but I'm going to grab the canvas in the back and hold it up. And hold it while I turn it. If not, with this slab roller, it could bend the clay. It could get caught underneath. So you want to make sure you're holding onto the clay, onto the canvas at the other end. Okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to turn my clay around. I'm going to turn my canvas around and put it back through. Again, the same way to get that compression. Now, you can see here how I'm holding that clay up, that canvas up, so that it doesn't fold over and end up bending. Okay, now turn it around. I'm going to pick this up, and you can see that my slab is a little bit longer. Now I'm going to turn it so that the long way is horizontal, and I'm going to take this down, not to the whole, not all the way to a 1/4 inch, because I want to compress it. And I'm going to stick it back in there. I'm just kind of tucking that canvas in. And then I'm holding that canvas so until the slab roller grabs it. It grabs the canvas, not your fingers. And then sending it through. Now, I like this width, so I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm going to take it down a little bit more. Not quite to a whole 1/4 inch, which is my goal. And I'm going to do a couple more passes. Turn it again. I'm going to make sure there's no crinkles. I'm going to make sure that there's no wrinkles in that fabric, or else that's going to impress upon the clay. And I'm going to take it down, all the way down to the 1/4 inch. One thing that you need to look out for is if you have a lot of clay in here, you can see here it's squishing out. Sometimes it might come out past this canvas, and if that happens, you need to stop rolling and tear off that canvas, because if it gets on the roller, it is a nightmare to clean off. So save yourself the trouble. All right, and there we have our slab. Even though we've done several passes through the slab roller to compress the clay, you still want to use a rib and compress the clay afterwards, and to get the canvas texture off of your clay. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope you make lots of fun stuff.